I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. Grandmama, wherever you are. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gotta understand what he's probably was doing in the rapping. A baby, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Killing kids. If that's your op game, catch him by his. What's the YouTube show? Boy, now it's better bring a video. The biggest three. KP. We'll go on YouTube, man. How y'all coming on this beautiful every day? How y'all doing, ski? Nah, the other videos you can see, bro. First, you just start, you don't do smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, follow me on Instagram, how y'all already. How y'all coming on this beautiful day, man? How y'all doing, ski? How y'all doing, man? Nah, though, man. Got a little crazy video, man. Not gonna lie to y'all, but yeah, make sure y'all tap to my channel, top of my screen, look at the description, and I'm in the video, cause I be tweaking. Make sure y'all follow me on TikTok, all the links are in the description, tap into those, folks, and let's get into the video. No kids, no cat.
A 30-year-old man and his 5-year-old daughter were murdered at a car
Fire,
wash
they
in
got
Fort Worth suburb
smoke,
of Forest
bro.
Hill.
SKIII video shows dozens of evidence
Smoke,
markers around a maroon Challenger. Also, a vacuum still laying in the front seat.
What? They got the vacuum in a car.
On scene to help with crowd control. Raw emotions as loved ones rushed to the car wash. Cries were heard.
They said he got smoked with his 5-year-old daughter, bro.
When is gonna stop?
That's ridiculous, man.
He was a family man, and he was going around rapping. Okay, why would you target him?
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, though. Grandmama, wherever you are. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gotta understand what he's probably was doing in the rapping. You know? Cause they be dissing. And his eyes probably couldn't smoke, but hey, I'm just saying, for you can't just. That's what he was doing. He had two different lives. He was a good family man, and then he was in the streets. You gotta understand that, man. Just saying.
And a baby, his baby.
But that's sad though. Y'all killed his baby too, though. But that's overly bogus, gang. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, fuck.
Forest Hill police were dispatched.
Man, that's bogus. I don't know all my shit just did
at
that.
a local car wash in the 6500 block of Forest Hill Drive. Upon arrival, officers discovered a 30-year-old male laying on the ground suffering multiple
30-year-old male, what?
He'd later be identified as Chucky Smith, but more commonly known as the Texas rapper Get Money Lil Ronnie. Inside of his vehicle, officers made a horrific discovery. His 5-year-old daughter had been shot.
Like
officers tried
bro, like that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That tingled my heart, gang. Like that's just sad,
both
bro.
of them would be pronounced dead at the scene.
5-year-old daughter, a girl, bro, a baby, gang. No, you're not skipping that. A baby, bro. I ain't gonna, bro. I ain't gonna cuss, bro, cause it's kids that watch me, but like, bro, that gang, that's effed up, bro. I ain't gonna lie, folks. Like, gang, this world really need to come to a conclusion, gang. People need to stop getting killed. This like you killing kids. If that's your op game, catch him by himself. You know? Gang, you just shooting just to shoot, gang. You don't know what you go hit. Tweaking, for like that ain't like that's just bogus, bro.
Ronnie's vehicle was parked at the car wash, and while he was vacuuming,
he's trying to clean his car with his daughter, bro.
Approached on foot and
just letting off shots.
Surveillance video would hit the internet showing they fired from close range as Ronnie took off running across the parking lot and away from his vehicle.
He left his baby though?
Making his way to a dumpster where the two shooters who appeared to be fleeing came back. Standing over Ronnie, one shooter would again open fire, dropping him to the ground. The second shooter would go behind the dumpster, off camera, and it can be assumed he also fired into Ronnie while he was
overkilled him.
With both shooters running off, Ronnie would make one final attempt to run, but only last 5 seconds before collapsing. The same day of the shooting, police would announce a suspect had been identified and an active capital murder warrant had been issued. 2 days later, police would identify both shooters to the public. 24-year-old Adonis Robinson is a convicted from prison in August
sex offender. Gang, you was a sex offender, bro.
He'd be convicted of sexual assault and failing to comply with sex offender registration. Apparently, he was 19 years old at the time of his arrest, while his victim was 55. According to a news article from 2019.
Bro, what? Bro, you hit a 55-year-old woman, bro? You get no pussy, gang.
A woman was jogging a trail when she passed a man wearing
Bro,
a hoodie pulled tight over his head. She was attacked from behind as he threw it to the ground,
corny,
hitting her,
gang. Freaky,
threatening to
overly
beat her
freaky,
unconscious
gang.
if she didn't stop screaming. She continued to fight back and scream as he tried pulling down her jogging shorts. Someone nearby heard the
raped
screams
this lady,
and
bro?
came to her aid as the suspect saw them.
A
and
old
ran
lady
off.
raped this lady, bro?
During the attack,
You was
the suspect
bogus,
dropped
man.
his phone charger, and DNA on the charger would trace back to Adonis. Surveillance video from a nearby cell phone store would show he bought the charger hours before the attack. 21-year-old Jacoby Russell has prior convictions for unlawfully carrying a weapon, assault of a pregnant person, and assault with bodily injury. Apparently in 2023, he beat his child's mother by striking, scratching, or dragging her with his hand. A plea deal would leave him on probation for 3 years, but only months later he'd be arrested for shooting a man. Another plea deal would spare him from prison, reducing his crime to a misdemeanor and sentencing him to a 1-year labor sentence, meaning once a week he had to work at the sheriff's office. He decided not to go and had a warrant out for his arrest at the time of the car wash shooting. It would seem the system failed its Texas citizens, as neither man should have been in society
This
after
is like a little
one
milk
attempted a
dud.
rape while the other beat his pregnant girlfriend and then shot a man. The internet would heat up when photos of Jacoby next to Texas rapper CJ Casino were found. This would make a connection that would leave fans spinning theories as to who was responsible for getting Ronnie killed. But instead of focusing on the hypotheticals, what we need to focus on is accountability. I can't say what made Ronnie a target. It could have been his affiliation to the rapper Go Yayo that got him killed. But he was at a car wash in the morning with his daughter when shooters opened fire. It's become normal for anyone involved in hip hop, from rappers to producers to even DJs, to expect violence because it comes within the culture of hip hop. So a 30-year-old father can be considered careless for even having his daughter in the back seat. Normalizing violence leaves men not having the ability to be fathers, as their lives are constantly in danger. And in this situation, I don't think the shooters knew that little girl was in the car.
That's weird, though.
The thought of what if.
Like, how is you in the streets with a kid?
I can't think of anyone that isn't disgusted with this
story.
Stay
on P's and Q's,
a 5-year-old girl being gunned
and he was
down
lacking,
by
I
her father.
guess.
Her last moments in the back of a car while his were on the pavement. At the end of the day, killing is killing, and every day the wrong people get shot. But who's actually to blame?
I feel like you should blame him.
I have a W-2
in some type of way,
and I spoke with a TurboTax expert who
in
helped
just
me
some
file
type of
with
way.
confidence. Doing the
Because first off, he ran. He left his daughter in the car.
One tried to rape
Second,
a woman and the other shot
you in
a
the streets
man.
with your kid.
They wouldn't have had the ability to
like,
kill that little girl. If the so-called street code was real, the shooters would have got punished for targeting women in the past, but they didn't. Everyone can claim women and children are off limits, but the reality is the streets knows no limits. Any and anyone can
They go kill whoever they can kill, bro.
Whoever's left either seeks revenge, continuing the cycle, or attempts to pick up the pieces. As for the two shooters, on March 6th, 3 days after the shooting, cell phone video would emerge of multiple police vehicles at a Chevron gas station in Livingston, Texas. Livingston Police, Fort Worth Police, and Texas Rangers would place a man and woman into custody, with police having confirmed the man was none other than Adonis
cheap.
Robinson.
$259.
It's unclear at this time if the female will face charges of accessory. On March 7th, Jacoby Russell would be arrested in Fort Worth, and the chase officially came to an end.
They're throwing your lives
Both
away.
men facing capital murder charges. Under Texas law, they can face execution, which I can't imagine anyone protesting against. A GoFundMe for the mother of the little girl that was taken will be pinned in the comment section of this video for anyone wanting to donate. A picture posted to Ronnie's Instagram would show his daughter with another little girl, and the caption would read, "My baby girl couldn't stand the fact that her friend was sad. This morning her daddy couldn't make it to Donuts with Daddy, so you know we let her know it's okay to join us and she can snap it up, and that changed her whole mood. My little Valentine's, literally. A small act of kindness by Ronnie and his daughter would be returned after their tragic deaths, as that same little girl sent a video expressing how she misses her friend.
I missed you at school today, Armani.
Aww.
I love you.
Now this is one of the saddest deaths within hip hop in recent times, right? To hear that somebody's daughter got killed. And I mean, there's been similar situations.
And a father,
the guy in Chicago who allegedly pissed on someone's grave. They tried to kill him and they only killed his little girl in the backseat. He ended up surviving, and I think he might have changed his life. I hope he did. But just the thought of you can't go to a car wash with your kid without the possibility of being gunned down is crazy. And at this time, we don't know a motive, so like I said, I'm not gonna dive into the conspiracy theories, but I am gonna break down accountability. Killing is killing. When you decide to kill somebody, you're responsible for every shot that comes out of that gun. A lot of these guns out here, the bullet isn't gonna stop when it hits someone, it keeps going. The bullet isn't gonna stop when it hits a car, it pushes through. This is how innocent people keep getting killed. They saw him at his car, they opened fire, they end up hitting the little girl, probably had no idea she was there, but now, nobody cares. Y'all made the decision to pull those triggers. Your decision caused the death of not only him, but a 5-year-old little girl. If the state of Texas pushes for the death penalty, who the fuck in all actuality is gonna say they don't deserve it? I would love to know. Who's gonna say, yeah, no, don't fry them. Nah, spare them. They didn't know better. They weren't fully developed. No, none of that. Because if you look at their history,
know what they was doing for fuck.
One tried to rape a 55-year-old woman, the other one's beating his pregnant girlfriend.
And they got criminal history, so like
accountability again. If the judicial system had put them away, they would have never had the ability to do this. So again, there's a fine line between, defund the police and give people bonds and don't be strict, to where you let people off that should be in. I've been in prison. There are people that 100% should never be released and should never come home. And if you've been to prison, you know the people that I'm talking about. You've seen them. They just can't get right. They love stabbing. They love violence. They can't handle responsibility. They fold under pressure. They lash
I would never want to do
They're
that.
mentally unstable.
Jeopardize my life. Y'all
That's what
shouldn't
we're
either,
dealing
bro.
with in this situation. It's a terribly sad thing that happened. My condolences to the family. And like I said, I'm going to have the GoFundMe pinned in the comment section for anybody that wants to donate. But rest in peace to Ronnie. Rest in peace to his daughter. As a father, I can't imagine.
No cap, bro. Rest in peace to all of them, bro. Listen, learn, bro. Stay out the streets, man. Stay out the way, bro.